After having Palit's RTX 5070 Gaming Pro C Edition for review and basically for some builds, we have a completely opposite one. We have the white version. This is a Palit GeForce RTX 5070 White, which they call a new era of SFF power. Now, why is that? As you can see the card right here, it's pretty small for a 50 series, even for a 40 series. So it's incredible how they packed this 5070 into such small chassis, and we do have some sort of a smaller, let's put it this way, passive heatsink. So I think it will be quite interesting to check out the thermals and see how it performs in that segment. But when we're talking about visual aspect, you have an opening here that kind of creates let's say a pass-through airflow from the last fan to the top. We have 12V 2x6 16-pin connector somewhere in the middle of the card. Looks like a brushed part, but it's all plastic, the top part and the middle part. We have 3 fans and basically, yeah, no addressable RGB whatsoever on this card. It looks quite nice. It has some sort of a graphic design on the side and silver accent or aluminum accent on the Palit logo on each fan. That's basically it for the visual aspect. Now when we go with some specs, what you can expect when we're talking about the SFF segment. The white is 170 millimeters, the length is 292 millimeters, and the thickness is 42 millimeters. Now this brings us to the point that this is a 2-slot card, and you can pack this GPU in a smaller footprint chassis that are SFF-Ready enthusiast GeForce approved. So what we had in the past review for the Palit cards, not the 5070 Gaming Pro, but the other one, this card goes into that segment with the SFF-Ready from the GeForce already applied, and basically giving you approval that this GPU will fit in majority of SFF builds that are approved on their website, and you can check that link in the description below. Now, when we have those key features, standard for 50 series, we have dedicated ray tracing cores, dedicated tensor cores, NVIDIA DLSS, Game Ready and NVIDIA Studio drivers, as you already know, but I'm not going to go too much into details. We're having HDCP 2.3, DisplayPort 2.1b with UHBR20 up to 4K 480 Hz or 8K and 165 Hz with DSC, and of course the HDMI 2.1b. And in general, this card comes with 12 gigabytes of RAM, the same as the Gaming Pro version. We have DLSS 4, ray tracing, reflex, and studio. This is an OC model, so it should be somewhere around Gaming Pro specs or similar stuff like that, and performance and everything all together. Now, when we go into comparison, when we're talking about benchmarks and similar stuff, we're gonna go through PUBG, which of course doesn't have DLSS or FSR in terms of, because of the comparison with other GPUs. Hogwarts Legacy, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Witcher 3, The Next Generation, Shadow of Tomb Raider, and of course Cyberpunk 2077. So we're having 5070, 5080, 9070 XT, and 9060 XT. In PUBG, basically it's above 9060 XT and very close to 9070 XT. It has a bit more FPS, but just by 1 or 2 regarding the Gaming Pro. So it's at 76 on average. We're talking about 4K ultra details. Then we go with Hogwarts Legacy. Now here we can go with DLSS, and we have 37 4K ultra and 80 with DLSS. Comparing it to other cards, we have it quite close to basically 9060 XT with DLSS on, a bit even close to the 9070 XT, but not with the DLSS and FSR on, and the 5080, I don't have to even mention that. Then we go with Spider-Man Miles Morales. We have average with 4K Ultra without DLSS, 66 FPS on average, and 154 with the DLSS on. It's definitely above 9060 XT, and I would say close to 5080 for some strange reason, with not with DLSS off, but with the DLSS on, and it has by 4 FPS higher. This could vary a lot, so I won't go into details, but when you see the raw power 66 compared to 110, you get the exact information about the performance. And 9070 XT, I don't even have to go into details too much about that. Now we go with Witcher 3, 29 to 69, and it's quite close to 9070 XT. It's definitely better than 9060 XT. But of course, 5080 takes the win here with 38 to 100 FPS on average when we're talking about 4K ultra details and DLSS. Now, Shadow of Tomb Raider, 61 to 165. It's not even close this time to 9070 XT and 9060 XT. 5080, it's 30, almost 40 FPS difference. So you can see where I'm heading. And then we go with Cyberpunk. I'm only having here 5070, 5080, and 9070 XT. 5070 49 without DLSS, but 4K ultra details. And then when we go with DLSS 4, we have 89 FPS, which is quite great. And in those terms, it's better than 9070 XT. But 5080, of course, goes 57 109. So in general, it surpasses 9060 XT without a problem. It sometimes battles 9070 XT, which is quite close in terms of even without the DLSS on and without the FSR on. But in some instances, it does go quite close. Now, as you can see in the build, I paired it up with AMD Ryzen 9 9800X3D. We have two sticks of Kingston Fury Renegade DDR5 RGB 2x16 at 6400 MHz, ASRock X870 Steel Legend Wi-Fi, and in a Valkyrie VK02 full white build. Really looks nice in general, but since the case is pretty big, I do have to admit, we're having, but let's say it's a really small and compact GPU. So this GPU, what I would suggest, and as they stated on the box and everywhere on their website, this GPU is definitely designed for an SFF builds. If you want something that looks massive in a massive case, then you'll definitely go with something either with 5070 Gaming Pro and just print your shroud like I did last time, or just simply go with another card that will fit in a more bulkier way. But if you're definitely going in a small footprint card and you want to save up some space and just to give more space for organizing your build in general, when we're talking about small form factor, it's this one without a doubt, because SFF-ready graphic cards are definitely designed to be placed in an SFF build. In general, I'm still standing behind the DLSS 4 and altogether what we mentioned in the 5070 Gaming Pro, but I'm really digging this card because it's quite cool that it's 2-slot, because now we go back, and when you notice the 3.5 slot GPUs nowadays, and then you go back to RTX 20 series, which were, and even 110 series, you get this thick of a card, 2-slot. Quite cool and quite strange actually to see such smaller card after so long, and basically you don't even recognize that those cards were this slim and smaller than today's ones. So in general, what we talked about today was Palit GeForce RTX 5070 White OC Edition, which of course fits perfectly in full white build. SFF-ready, which is outstanding. It has similar performance to the RTX 5070 Gaming Pro OC that I reviewed a couple of months ago. And in general, this is quite, well, a nice small card with triple fan, and everything all together just fits perfectly. It goes above 9060 XT as I stated and as you saw in the benchmarks, but 9070 always kind of either takes the win flawlessly without breaking a sweat, or it's simple as it is, as you've seen in the graphs. So that'll be all for today, guys. The link for the RTX 5070 White OC from Palit is in the description below. If I can't find it on some stores, if you're interested in going with specifically this thin and smaller card, then I'll just place the link as well. I'll actually place it as well directly for their official website, so you can check more information if I might have missed or skipped something. That'll be all for today, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and I will see you quite shortly in a new one. Thanks. Bye-bye.